Welcome to Louisiana Heart Beats. I'm Sudie Landry, and today I have Bob Bienvenue, sci-fi author. Bob is also a regular show host on KDN Open Channel, and he has a show, Insight into Mental Health. This is another side of Bob that I want to show you. He talks about the books that he's written quite a bit, but I want to focus in on this series, the Time Traveler series. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Thank you, Sudie. Thank you.
Bob, I appreciate your willingness, always ready to come on the show.
Oh, I love you, Sudie. You're a great lady. I'm always glad to come on your show.
You're such a wonderful guy. I'm telling you, KDN, he has written 5 books about time travel. He's cranking out the books so fast and sharing with me the manuscripts that I can't even read the manuscripts anymore. And I decided within the last few days, to heck with the manuscripts, just go ahead and get the books published, and I'll just invest into all of the series.
Okay.
And I really do not want to hold up anybody else that needs to edit or critique your stories. But anyway, Bob, let's share with them that as our director is showing the different books that you do have published, let's talk about the Time Traveler. How in the world did you come up with this genre? What made you all of a sudden decide to start writing about time travel?
Well, when I wrote my my autobiography, from light to darkness to glory, I didn't know what to write next. I wrote my book, Mental Illness, God and Healing, after that. And then I figured I would keep on writing. You know, I got the bug hit me. And I didn't know what to write. So I just thought, time travel. Why am I to write about time travel? It just came to me, you know. I wasn't sure if I was going to write a Christian book, which I wrote later. And I just sat down and started thinking. There's this young guy in the city of Layville, which is Lafayette, named Jared Bork. My middle name is Jared, and my mom's maiden name is Bork. And he is the main character. He is 19 years old in 1969, I think, or 1968, yeah, and his dad is a professor at the college University of Morton, which is like UL, you know. And his dad was a physics professor who taught over there, and had worked on the Manhattan Project in World War II, where the scientists from Germany and America were working on the space program after the war. And his dad was always interested in time travel, and had built a time machine. Now, I don't know how I figured to write that, but it just came to me, you know.
I want to make some statements right here. In this book, which is a fiction, and it's about time travel, Bob also incorporates facts of history and uses the characters of history to become part of his story.
Yeah.
And Time Traveler, you did, in the book, you go because your father, basically, we don't want to give the whole book away.
No.
Your father really had passed away, but yet he had been working on a time machine that nobody knew about.
Yeah.
So that's what the Time Traveler book #1 is about. And so that was very interesting, the different characters that you met. And as I said, we don't want to give all the stuff away in the book.
Yeah.
So then after that, you go on to your second book, which is called Time
Tripping and the Planets.
And it picks up from the first book.
Yeah, that picks up with Jared Bork waking up and getting the newspaper and reading about a picture that they had discovered from an old warehouse in Florence, Italy, an old barn. And Jared looks at the picture, and it's a picture of his girlfriend, who is now his wife, I think, Susan. And Susan is the name of the first girlfriend I ever had in my life, so I named her Susan. And it's a picture of her wearing a tie-dye t-shirt with bell-bottom pants at dusk, holding a big lighter that is lit. and you know, and the article Jared reads says they don't know how the picture originated, except maybe Leonardo dreamt of the future or something. I think I put that in there, and that goes on to start about one of their alien friends getting caught in America and putting in prison, where Jared uses a time machine with another one of the alien friends to go free him. And then that starts, it's because they were shot down by enemy aliens, and that starts a big war that takes place in the Australian desert, you know, with the Klingons, an enemy race that wants to conquer the galaxy. And Jared and the Quaternions, along with the Atlanteans from Atlantis, they contact them too, and they fight, and that's the third book.
Okay, now before we go to the other two that you're working on, I wanted to go ahead and back up and say, I was amazed that you could keep everything together, explain everything, give all these historical facts. I feel like I was there to take people that normally the common person didn't think they would be able to associate with, to become the best of friends with the Queen of
England.
And I mean, we're talking about famous people and artists and the
Leonardo da Vinci.
Right.
They meet Leonardo da Vinci. They meet George Washington. In the third book, Time Travelers Anthology, who did they meet? I'm trying to think who they meet.
Well, let me tell you what. All I can tell you is this, that he has the facts, he has the interest, he has the creativity, he has the twist. That is, you know it's not true, but you also know how in the world did he incorporate the facts and along with the fiction, but that's what he does, and he takes you on a journey that never ends. At the end of the book, the clincher, he'll let you know what's going on to the next book. So, Time Travelers Anthology, then you have cranked out 3 complete books. Only 2 have been published, and they will be revised later.
They are being revised right now, so they're not on the market, but they will be revised with a new cover, with new covers. Those that's Time Tripping in the Planets, that's the second book, and Time Travel Anthology, that's the third book. And then the Time Travel, I don't know about, I should talk about babies.
Well, this is the whole point. The whole point is, the last guest I had on the show, she cranked out 5 books, and she just gave enough to let them know it's coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so Time Babies, you will let them know that what happened is in one of the books, the girlfriend ends up being the wife, and later on she travels with him. But the whole point is, I don't want you to know all the story. And she ends up, they get married over there, way far away.
They get married, and they go, in the first book, they go to Queen Elizabeth's coronation in 1559, and she is crowned by Bishop Oglethorpe, who is a real person that really crowned the Queen Elizabeth, and he is also the guy that marries them in England.
So then, and in the book later on, the next book, then he's actually saying, okay, it's time to get married in the current time traveler. Okay.
Oh, okay. Now, in Time Travelers Anthology, that's when they get married, because she tells him she's pregnant. I won't reveal any more about that.
No, don't tell that, because that's the best part. At the end of the book, and the next trilogy that's going to happen, I'm pregnant. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the intro to the next book. Now, as far as the Time Babies, that pretty well talks about what the journey is going to be about.
Yeah.
And then you have the 5th book.
The 5th book is Time Travel Revisited, and they have gotten together. Jared and his dad, Dr. Bork. Dr. Bork has been revitalized and brought and Jared has gone back into the past to tell Dr. Bork about the wreck he's going to have and pass away, so Dr. Bork can watch out that he doesn't die instead of Jared just inhabiting the time machine. So in essence, they bring him back to life. Okay. So Jared and Dr. Bork then concur with the aliens from from the planets Quatar, Grog and Dash, and with the aliens from planet Theron, which they call Tix, and planet I don't remember. Two other Klingor and another planet. I'm sorry.
No. Let's just stop right there. Listen, he's giving you a lot more information than a lot of authors give, and the most important thing is that he's got a time traveler series, book 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not only that, he's written other books, but we're focusing on this series because it is coming up soon. It's a timely topic.
Yeah.
People seem to be really interested in time travel right now. So you don't have to get all the facts, but I do want people to know that everything that you put in the book, the first person that tried to edit his book thought he had plagiarized the book with so many facts in there that they were so good. See, I tried to say it was a compliment because it was so good, and me, as a woman, I don't really like reading Time Traveler, but because I know Bob and I've read it, I can understand why she would have thought, oh, he's copied this from somewhere. But with your facts and all those different places that you add in there and all those famous people that you add in there, and he takes you on a history trip that if you didn't do like history like I did not when I was growing up, you'll get educated or you'll have memories brought back from certain things you even mentioned. I mean, the tie-dye shirt, what era was that?
Yeah, that was the 70s. That's when I grew up.
So, and then, of course, as traveling around and all that. So you make it almost like sound like it is happening already, which eventually, I guess the United States and everybody else does want to be able to believe that there is travel to get to where you're going and looking for life on another planet. So this way, with your books, you kind of get an idea of what it could be.
With this book, you find adventure. You find love between Jared and Susan. It's all about their love for each other. You find danger with aliens trying to take over the galaxy in a war. You find humor, where there's a lot of humorous things like them doing the twist, Jared and Susan doing the twist in Elizabeth's coronation ceremony, and Queen Elizabeth is doing the twist herself. So that's funny. And it has everything that a sci-fi book should have, which a lot of them today don't have, because most of the movies they make about sci-fi today are just about technology and action. There's not much love, there's not much human interest story, and this book is a human interest story. Besides time travel and history, it's about the love but of a family for each other.
I personally believe that with the story that you created in each of these books, that anyone that's interested in maybe making it into a movie can always add all that technical stuff.
Yeah.
Like all the fighting between the planets.
Yeah.
And the characters that you've created, create them where other people can see them on screen visually.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed. So, you're cranking one out. I mean, look. You just I can't keep up with you. That's it. I give up. I'm just going to wait on my books. And
wait on your books, you get them.
I'll get my copies, forget the reading, the editing. I want to just go to the final.
You're gonna get all 5 books, and probably there's going to be a 6th book coming.
That's where I was going. You are going to continue. It's kind of like all these television shows. Just when you think it's over, it's not over.
It's not over,
It's not over. So let me
I'm going to continue.
Do you ever sleep?
Yeah, sleep. Sometimes I write mostly at night, sometimes in the daytime, but sometimes I'll start writing and I'll get into it so much that I'll stay up all night just writing.
Yeah.
And sleeping. I'm retired, so I can do whatever I want, thank God. Thanks to my Lord Jesus Christ, who has enabled me to be retired. And I'll just sleep the rest of the day or just write you know, and I would like to also say to people out there that are thinking of writing your memoirs or writing books, it is a great therapy. And it'll make you feel so good to accomplish something like that, you know.
Anything can become a story, but let me tell you what, though, it's not easy to create things like you're writing right now.
Yeah, thank you.
It's easier. I'm the type of author that tells true stories, so it's easy for me to tell the true story. And I can create a story, but that's not my genre, that's not my interest, that's not my talent.
Yeah.
But Bob, when it comes to a book, I mean, for example, the book that you're now saying how many pages you got in it?
The first book is 300 something, and the others are about 260, 280.
Okay, and per book, how long does it take you to write the book? We're talking the main story, we're not talking about the editing, we're not talking about the artwork, we're not talking about the completed book. When you start writing a story, how long approximately?
4 or 5 months. I can write 2 books a year. I've already written 3 books in a year.
I was going to say, you done broke that up. You already cranked out a 3rd book.
Yeah.
So and all that. But this is, I told Bob, this is a man book. This is action movie stuff. I mean, you know, I could plug an actor right now. I could think that would do all this hopping and jumping and going from planet to planet, boom, 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 and saving everybody. But what makes yours so different is what you said earlier.
It's a human interest story.
It's got actual characters in it, not just all this action, bang, 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 and flashing lights and people and dinosaurs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so, so that's why I was hoping that this is cranked out so much. Like right now, when you revise your book, it should be out when? About when is it coming out? Your 2 books, right?
In the next few months.
Okay, so we're going to revise 2.
We're going to revise the time travel and time tripping in the planets, and we're going to also put out the time travel anthology. I think all 3 books will be out before the year is
yeah,
up.
I talked to your marketing friend.
My agent, Jaylyn Tompkins.
And
She's
Jaylyn
great.
Tompkins had kind of mentioned that's what she'd like to do, and she asked me what I thought. I said, yes, it's time for you to promote those 3 because we know you got more coming. And yeah, you've written other stories and things like that, but this is your niche, like they would say, your gift, because you're cranking it out fast, you know.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that the guest before you also had 5 books, and I let her and encouraged her to let us know about the ones that she was doing.
Yeah.
And here you are with your 5 books. Now, in between being an author, what other things do you like to do when you're not writing?
Well, I'll weightlift.
Okay.
I'm leaving next Thursday to go to Las Vegas, where I will catch a plane catch a car at McCarran, Nevada, in Las Vegas, in the McCarran Airport in Las Vegas, and head off to Lofton, Nevada, where I will compete in the AAU North American Weightlifting and Powerlifting Championships.
Well, let's just let YouTube and Facebook and Acadiana Open Channel people watching the show know that you have won many weightlifting championships and medals.
I have 43 AAU world titles and 44 official and unofficial state records in different organizations, and 3 world records with Cajun hardcore powerlifting.
This is an example, Bob Bienvenue, to prove to you, Acadiana, and anyone watching the show, that he doesn't like his physical challenge in areas. Some people say he could never do this and never do that. He deals with, as you always tell everybody, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. But he works through all of that, and he's taking care of that, and actually believes that half the time you've been just pretty well gone and not active. And you're very blessed because he not only is weightlifting champion, of course somebody's always going to call his phone.
They always do.
Whenever we're doing something. But what it is that Bob, he has a show, Insight into Mental Health, and he shares a lot of these facts. And I told him today that I really wanted him coming on the show. We wanted to really promote his being an author. And because of Acadiana Open Channel being who they are, that is one of the most important things that we can do this. And if my director would show me again how much time we have left, I know there was a reason he opened the door, but anyway.
I would just like to say, I started Insight into Mental Health to help people because I was so grateful for what my Savior, Jesus Christ, has done for myself. With schizophrenia, dealing with it for 47 years, that I know these people that are hurting out there that are by themselves in poverty with mental illness, and we do the show, me and Richard Phelps do the show to try to inspire people and give them ideas on how to deal with their mental illness. And of course, we promote Jesus Christ and God a lot on the show.
And you also give a lot of credit to AOC for allowing you to have that platform.
And I love AOC, and Ed Bowie is one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And him and Jacob White, and Willie McFarland, Matt, Skip, Bethany, and
the whole crew. Right?
And the whole crew.
You know what, Bob, as I'm sitting here, I'm also thinking about all the things that different people say they can't do. But if you have something that you truly believe in, you should have that can-do attitude. And
Yes.
that's who you are. You're a can-do. You just keep on keeping on. And keeping busy is a good thing.
Yeah.
Keeping busy is a good thing. So Bob does have his television show, and the books that he has cranked out is a series of Time Traveler. And as you see switching different screens, you'll see the first two books that he's got that's actually going to be redone.
Redone with new covers, more professional covers. That's an alien, by the way.
Yeah, that's what we all perceive as an alien if you've ever seen the movies.
Yeah.
Big green man with the big eyes or whatever, red eyes and all that. Okay, Bob, so here we are sitting here talking about your being an author, and yes, you're a weightlifter, and yes, you are a motivator through your television show. Okay, so besides that, do you have other hobbies? Like okay, you're going to be going to the weightlifting. Mm-hmm. But I think you went on some kind of horse trip a while back. Remember that farm?
I went, me and a friend of mine, Robert Broussard, went to a horse farm, Saratoga, New York, to go to a farm where this veteran would do horse therapy with veterans, and I'm a disabled veteran, and Robert Broussard is a disabled veteran, and Robert was able to get me there, and we went do horse therapy on it, and it was really, really good horse therapy for people who have had trauma in their lives.
Well, I thought that was interesting because you also shared that with us. And also, too, I'm thinking, too, there's your webpage up there, bobbienvenue.com. So if anybody's interested, I think you're going to be posting maybe even this video up there.
Yeah.
But you do tend to want to share with people what you're doing. And it's not always just about writing. It's about encouraging people if there's anything you find out.
Yeah.
And so that's what you do. That's what you call fun, huh?
Yeah, I'm so grateful for what work. If y'all knew my story, Mike Fuseli, the guy who led me to the Lord 26 years ago, knows my story. I was hurting really, really bad, smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day like this, and drinking a case of Diet Coke, half out of my mind with grief and being rejected and isolated from everybody. Nobody had anything to do with me. And I gave my life over to Jesus, and things started to change. So I'm so grateful for what he does. I want to help other people that have had difficulty with mental illness too. That's why I started the TV show.
Okay, well, I'm going to do the closing out of the show, but we'll continue talking as the rolling credits come up.
Okay.
But Katie Ann, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I want to encourage you to also check out his webpage because he's always sharing what he's doing, not only about books, but sometimes he puts on there what he's doing in his television show. And I want to thank you, Bob, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Sudie.
I know you're more than willing any time,
Yeah.
but this show is about featuring people out there with your dreams, with your visions, giving you the opportunity to come here free and tell people what you're doing, or to even have you come on the show and share some good news with us so we can share with the community. It's a community-based television show. And so with us here today is Bob, who goes in many areas. He actually was He wrote a book, and it was about all that bad stuff he went through. Then he wrote a book, how he found the Lord and how the Lord helped you get through. And meanwhile, he strives every day to encourage people. You can be whatever you want to be. It's
That's
not
right.
what you've been told you should be or you are. Because we are what we want to be. But we got to work at it. And you've done a lot of working at it, Bob.
Thank you, Sudie.
You
Thank
really have. And I know I've been with the Acadiana Open Channel 7 years now. And I believe that's whenever I met you, basically. And then I began to see that you had so much going on. I was glad to hear that you were going to write a book. And when you asked me to consider even reading that manuscript, it really blessed me that you entrusted me to take that book, because we have to be so careful these days, Bob.
I have high regards for your opinion, and when I wanted to first start writing the book, I talked to you and you encouraged me, and that helped a lot.
And that's what it's about. You are that person that you've come through so much that by encouraging other people, you motivate them just by writing this story. Now, you are writing creative work, and that is where you are gifted. And I think that a lot of people are going to see. I'm not going to be surprised if it ends up in the movies, okay?
Yeah, well, thank you.
I just got,
I would
the
love
only thing
it.
waiting for is to find out who's going to play the parts.
Yeah.
And no, you can't be in it.
No,
You cannot be
I'm
in
too
it.
old.
But we want to thank everybody for watching, so be blessed.
Thank you. How you liked it? I didn't mess up too bad. Huh?
You did good. This is what it's about. It's all about being real.
Yeah.